Hi guys, it's Mr. Kreisler. So today we'll be learning how to factor trinomials when the a is greater than 1. When I say the a is greater than 1, I mean the number in front of the x squared right here, or this 3. This isn't a 1, it's a number like 3, or sometimes it can even be negative, like a negative 1 or not, but generally it's a positive number. So the method we're using is called the AC method, or where you take the a value in front of the x squared and you kind of just take it and you multiply it by the c. So using my method, that gets rid of the a for now, and it becomes x squared plus bx plus ac. So for this example, we're going to take the 3, multiply it by the negative 5, so it becomes x squared minus 2x minus 15. And then from this step forward, we would actually factor like a regular trinomial using the quote-unquote AM method. But anyway, let's go to the next slide so I can give myself more room. So I already discussed the first method, or the first step. We take that a value, or that 3, and we take it and multiply it by the negative 5. So x squared minus 2x minus 15 is our new expression. So now we're going to go back to the original method, which is the AM. Or we're going to say, for this one, where a is negative 2 and m equals negative 15. So we need two numbers because this is negative. So one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. And the bigger number is going to be negative because the middle term is negative. So positive and negative combine. To get a negative answer, the negative one has to be bigger. So let's think of all the numbers that multiply to 15. 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. We said the bigger number has to be negative in this case, so negative 15, negative 5. 1 minus 15 equals negative 14. So this doesn't work. 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. So that does work. So our positive number is the 3. Our negative number is the 5. Now here comes a weird step. Step 3. We're going to divide both of these factors by the a value. So the a value in this case was our 3. So 3 divided by 3 and 3 divided by negative 5. Also, we can also say it's simplify. Simplify the fraction. Just remember, fractions and division are the same thing. We just leave it as a fraction so we don't have to deal with decimals. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, so this will become x plus 1. Very simple. But when you come here, can you divide 5 by 3 without getting a decimal? No. So what we do is, if that doesn't work, if we can't divide, we kick. We kick the denominator to the front. This is denominator. Sorry if you can't see that as clearly as I want. So we take the 3, we kick it to the front, right here to that x. So this one now becomes 3x minus 5. And there you go. That's exactly how you would find it, the factors when the a is greater than 1. We will do more examples. It gets easier with practice, and you gotta just kind of know how to reduce this. If you're unsure to reduce for this step, be green. What you want to do is say math, enter, enter. No, sorry, not math, enter. Math frac, enter, enter. You want to reduce this to a fraction. This is where having the graphing calculator comes in handy, and it is math, enter, enter, just for the record. The first time you hit enter, you're on the frac. And this will make the smallest possible fraction if possible. If not, you should hopefully just have a 3 over 3 become a 1, and the 5 over 3 will stay 5 over 3, and you just kick that 3 to kick the denominator. All right, let's try another column. So for this one, we're going to say 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. So our a value is bigger than 1, and we're going to multiply it by the c, or do the AC method. So now we have x squared plus 3x minus 18. Now we do our AM, where our a is a positive 3 and our m is a negative 18. Since the m is negative, we know we have to multiply a positive and a negative, and we have to get an answer of positive 3. So since this is positive, that means this positive is going to have the bigger number. So let's find our factors of 18. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. The positive has to be the bigger number. So it's positive 18, positive 9, positive 6. And the smaller number is negative, so negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Negative 1 plus 18 equals negative 17. So no good. Negative 2 plus 9 equals negative 7. So this isn't any good. Negative 3 plus 6 is negative 3. So that works. Those are our factors. Positive is the 6. The negative is the 3. Last step, divide by the a. Divide by a and kick denominator if it doesn't work. If it doesn't reduce. So divide the 6 by, not 2, by 3. Dividing the 6 by a 2, and dividing the negative 3 by a 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so x plus 3. Negative 3 and 2, well, I can't reduce that as far as I know. So in my trusty calculator, I go negative 3 divided by 2, math, enter, enter, and it's negative 3 over 2, so got to get rid of this 2 and kick it to the x. So 2x minus 3 would be my final factor. And that's it. You're not sure, multiply it back out, distribute, see if you get the original one. Please pause the video if you have any questions or you're unsure, rewatch it. This might be new for some of you. And let's try our last thing. So with this last one, we're going to go 3n squared minus 8n plus 4. Our a value is greater than 1, so we're going to do our AC method, or sometimes known as the bridge method, and multiply to the 4. So AC, or sometimes known as the bridge method, which will get us n squared. Actually, let's change that back to an x. X squared minus 8x plus 4. I'll change these back to the x in case you're confused. It really doesn't matter what the variable is. Now, 3 times 4 gives us a 12. And now we have to do our AM method, where our A is a negative 8 and our M is a positive 12. So two numbers that add to negative 8 and two numbers that multiply to a positive 12. So because this is positive, our multiplication is positive, that means both signs will be the same. Since we add to a negative, it means both signs will be negative as well. So let's look for it. 1 times 12, they're both negative. 2 times 6, both negative. 3 times 4, and they're both negative. So -1 minus 12 is -13, so this doesn't work. -2 minus 6 is -8, which is awesome, which means we don't have to bother with this one. So x minus 2, x minus 6. Our last method, our kick method. So we divide by the a, or kick. Whenever you kick, make sure to reduce first. Otherwise you will get it wrong. So our a is a 3, so 2 divided by 3. That doesn't work. I know -2 you can't divide it by 3. If you're not sure, math, enter, try it on a graphing calculator. So let's kick that 3 to the front. Kick it to the x, so 3x minus 2. -6 divided by 3 does work, and this becomes x minus 2. And those are our factors. That's it. Hopefully you guys like this method. If not, I will show you the other form of the method. And honestly, the choice is yours. I personally prefer this method. I think it's just easier to visualize and do. Some people prefer the other method. So I'll use the same problem, and we'll do it using the other method. 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. So in both methods, the first step is the same. Do your AC. Take the 3, multiply it by the 4. We get x squared minus 8x plus 12. But we actually leave the 3 here. That's the weird part. And when you multiply by the 12 to make the 12, you're not actually going to write a 12. It's actually going to stay a 4. You just have to know that the AC is 12. You have to know that personally. So then you have to do your AM method, except now the M is the 12 and the A is still the -8. So A equals -8, M equals positive 12. Same factors. We already saw in the last problem which ones work. We know that the -2 and -6 works. I'm not going to go through all that extra steps, but we know -2 minus 6 times, and when we multiply this, equals a positive 12, and -2 minus 6 equals -8 when we add them together. So now we got to write it out using this new method. So you write out the whole thing, 3x squared, and instead we break this up into our factors. So minus 2x minus 6x plus 4. Now you might be wondering, me like, Mr. Kreisler, okay, what do I do now? Well, this is why I don't like this method, but if you prefer it, be my guest. We say, let's look at the left side first. You got to find the GCF of these two. Is there a GCF between 3 and 2? No. Is there a GCF between x squared and x? Yes. So what we're saying here is the GCF of x means 3x minus 2 is left. Let's look at this side now. We have to find the GCF again and factor that out. The x we don't have in common here, but we have a 6 and a 4. What can we divide both 6 and 4 by? Can't divide it by 6 by a 4, but we can divide both of them by 2. So we have a 2 on the outside, and we're going to take out the negative. So this is -2. So this becomes 3x, and 4 divided by -2 is -2. Now, if you notice, in both of these parentheses, we have a 3x minus 2. So we're going to take that out, make that a GCF on its own, so it's like a second GCF. And then what's left is going to go into another parentheses, and x minus 2 is left. And we compare it to the last problem. Well, 3x minus 2 and x minus 2, they both work. Now, if you're looking at this problem and you're thinking, well, Mr. Kreisler, how do I know if the -2 goes first and the -6 goes first? And the answer is quite simple. It doesn't matter. And I will show you by redoing the problem in a different order. So this time, we're going to say that the -6 goes first and the -2 goes second. Sorry, -2. And now we're going to do the same kind of steps, get the same answer, but the GCFs this time will be different. So let's look at the GCF of these two. The smallest number is a 3. Can I divide 6 by 3? Yeah, so 3 is definitely part of the GCF. Do they both have a variable? Yes. What's the smallest exponent? This one, which is just x to the first. So we have 3x. What's left inside? Well, 3 divided by 3, cancel out. X squared divided by x is just x. -6 divided by 3 is -2, and x cancels with x. Now we look at this side. Do they have a variable in common? Nope. Could I divide both numbers by 2? Yep. And to make our lives easier, we're going to divide by this -2. There's -2 on the outside. -2 divided by -2 cancel out. X just goes there. +4 divided by -2 is -2. Now they both have this parentheses in common, so we're going to bring out this x minus 2 here. Cancel these out. And what's left? 3x minus 2. This is the other method for factoring using the AAC/bridge method. Personally, I prefer the other method I previously showed, where you kind of just divide by the a in the end, but realistically, the method's up to you, what you prefer. Please watch this video again, look it up. I will provide a website that shows it written out. This one is a little bit more time consuming and a little bit more steps to think about. So please be careful and have a wonderful day.